There, this is what I'm working on right now. I built this ramp for one. It was pretty steep before, so now it's more easy going down into the river. Got to do some more work down here with some rocks or something. I have some in there, but it's still kind of mucky. And then I'm filling water, hauling water for the house. That's where we get our water for right now. And I also built a dam. Not done it yet, but I'm working on it. So the water's about 2 feet higher on the other side now. There was 3 stone pillars, one here, one in the middle, and one on the end, that they would have used for a fence at one point. I cleared all the boulders out of here so I can get through easier, because it's my laneway to get to that back field. And then dumped them all in here, along with a whole bunch of other stuff. So it's about 2 feet higher on the other side. I'd like to see it like 4 feet higher. And then I'm going to build a ram pump right here. And I could also use it for creating hydro. There's a beaver dam upstream. I'm going to blow the dam, and I'm hoping the beavers will like this pond and work with this one instead, because the other beaver dam is flooding my land. So I don't want them there, but I don't want to lose the beavers. I figure we build a dam here. I can use it. They can use it. Everybody's happy. Beautiful sound though, sitting by here waiting for the water to fill up. Just got a pump. It's a 110 pump, running it off an inverter off my tractor. That's why the hood's open. Got the clamps on the battery. Yeah, something to do. Takes about just shy of an hour to fill the tank. Okay, I'm going to go try to cross the river here for the first time. I've got the disc vine behind me. I don't know if you can tell. I'll stop here a minute. I've got both wings up. You can see this wing here, this piece of steel that's standing straight up. Should be laying flat that way. The other side is probably more visible. Those flaps should come down. So that makes me a lot narrower. That's as narrow as I can make this machine. And I'm now hoping I'm going to be able to fit. We'll find out. If not, then I guess we're not cutting today. If it fits, then we can cut today. I still cannot get to the backfield. That will be a project for another year. But I am hoping to get across this river. I'll take some footage of that. It is pretty steep here. I'll try to get across the river and cut the 10 acres on that side. And then the other piece is actually in that bush, and she's pretty thick. I did have some footage before. I don't know if that ever made the cut or not. That Waylon and I were cutting a bit of a path in there one day, so just while we're filling the water barrels. I'm going to keep working on that probably over time, but right now we can get into this field. So this is what we're going through. I don't know if you can tell, there's quite a drop down to the river, and then I need to go, can't quite see where it's pointing here. I got to go up through there, and this is the drop here. Hard to tell because the tractor's in the way, but that's probably 4 or 5 feet down. And then back up the other side. The other side going up, it'll be easy. It's just narrow. There's a very narrow hole where there's 2 stone pillars, I guess, that I gotta squeeze through. So hope it fits. If not, I gotta back my way back out of here. Alright, we're going down. I have cleared a little bit of room. This probably would have been well used at one point by somebody's tractor. Has not been used very well for a while, put it that way. And so there's lots of boulders. I think probably because of the current of the river, you can see it going through there, and especially in the spring, a lot of rocks would have been rolled in here. So I actually made these 2 little islands on that side, just from the rock that is scooped out of this little lane here. And there's still more there. You see the tractor's kind of bumping over them. So we're coming through here. That's definitely going to need some work as well, but it's coming. It's a narrow lane, so now you can maybe more appreciate the hill coming down. I want to carve the top of that off, and I'm going to fill the bottom with some rock and just kind of make it a little bit more smooth coming through. This side, it's solid rock down here, but it's still a matter of fitting through the narrow hole is what I'm worried about. But we're coming. Slow and steady. always wins some kind of a race. Here you can see one pillar here, the other one is right there, and I think from stepping it off that we should be okay to fit, but it's still kind of an awkward angle getting it to squeeze. So that's one stone pillar. I'm going to hug that side to get the disc binder out. That's the other stone pillar. Turning around again. Here we are coming. I don't know, folks, that looks pretty tight to me. It does, it does. I got a little bit of room on the one side, nothing on the other side. I'm going to back that up and try to move it over a bit. It's this pillar on, well, I can't point because I'm a little occupied, but the one that's leaning there, I want to shove it back up straight. I may just end up having to remove it, period. I just thought it was kind of a cool piece of history, and if I could keep it, I would. That didn't help yet. Move over a bit more. Sometimes life is a process. Do we need to feed? Not really. But leaving it here seems wasteful. And if I have more bales, look at that, folks. There we go. That's tight, but she does her. We're in. If I could take it all off, then I'd have more feed, and I could feed more animals. Okay. The other thing is that when you do not touch it, this feels not too bad yet, but it starts on the outside edges. I don't know if you can tell. There's trees here growing all the way along the edge. You'll see it. If you were to walk here, probably on my left is the best example. I'm gonna zoom in here. You can see lots, all these trees here, all the little ones. That used to be field. I walked it all with Anissa. It used to be field right up until the tall stuff. So we've lost a phenomenal amount there. Somebody has. You know what? Some pioneer put a lot of work into clearing this at one point, and now it's going to waste. So if you do not cut it, what starts off as a little tree quickly turns into a big one. And some of those varieties grow incredibly quick. So even, 5-6 years left alone, they turn into big shrubs that you can no longer take out with a disc binder. Okay? You have to get your chainsaw out. I don't feel like doing that. That end I'm not going to cut. You can kind of follow a line along here, all the way across. I'm not going to cut over there. It's very, very rocky. It seems like they stone picked this side, not that side. So we'll leave that for another day. And there's going to be a little bit of cutting in through here. Oop, not that high. Through here. But some of that stuff back there is too rocky. It was cleared. Presumably it was used as pasture. But the majority of this piece can be cut. We'll get at her, see what we get off of here. Alright, so you can see what I'm talking about. There's not a whole lot of material here. There is far more on the other side, so it's not as productive here. And you can see here what I'm talking about with the rocks. They never bothered picking this side. Could be because of the productivity of the land, I don't know. There's a pile there, somebody must have piled that up. But there's rocks spread out through this chunk. Basically I cut along the edge. I did hit one. So I'm gonna go check my knives right now because that'll dull it out. There's a rock. I'm clipping it off, mostly for the trees. The edges here. Over on the far side, there's gonna be a decent crop actually. It's not bad there. And I did take down quite a few little trees there. Here you got a little shrub. Give that a couple of years, it's gonna be a royal pain. And I don't want that, so. If it's gonna be pasture, it's not such a big deal that, it'd actually be nice to have a couple of little trees in the middle. But I haven't really decided, we haven't really decided what we're doing. I wanna keep it clear right now. If you leave it too long, it'll be overgrown to the point where I'm gonna have to get, some extensive work done. Right now it can be managed. I'm gonna do that. Beautiful breeze in here though. Should almost be making hay. It's nice drying weather. So I think I'm dragging a twig based on the fact that my spread pattern's not real good. Okay, if you look at the disc vine, the back here, okay, the feed should be kind of falling in a central position in the middle. That's the way I've got it set up. There's two skirts on the back, and I've got them both pointed in. You can see these wing nuts on the top here, one there. Okay, and they can slide out or in. They're attached to a plate, so that plate can deflect the feed towards the middle or keep it out straight. So if I want to make dry hay, I'd have them both out, and I'd be laying this material out as far and wide as I can so it gets the most sun exposure and dries quickly. I'm just going to bale and wrap this And so I don't really want it to dry out. So I got them both in, and it's supposed to fall down in the center. But you can see here it's not, which leads me to believe there's probably something stuck. Happens more often. You run over twigs. There you go. There's a stick stuck in there. While I'm down here, those are impellers. You can have roller conditioners or impeller conditioners. Basically, that smashes the feed up. Yeah, I'm using my hand here to, maybe I can try it. Okay, so the feed comes off the disc binds. These guys grab it, and it wings between this disc, or this plate, sorry, and these impellers. Okay, and I can control that plate coming down or up. The tighter I bring it, the more crimping action we're going to get. I can adjust that from up top. Right now, again, I don't want it crimped. The whole point of crimping is to dry it. That's for making dry hay again. I don't want that right now. So I have it sitting up as high as I can. Here you can kind of see that shield. And I can bring that guy down. And then I can also take this flap, that's another one, and I can make him point straight down. So it'll come through there, through the conditioners, and floop straight down. That's as wide as I can possibly bring it. And right now I don't want that, so I'm not using it. I've had a couple of sticks stuck on this side, different times. So here we can see a tree went through and got pinched in here. And that is now holding. So as the feed comes flying across here, it's hitting here and dribbling straight down. And that's exactly where it's landing. So I'll pull that out and we'll get on our merry old way. This is exactly what I'm talking about. There's a good 20-30 feet of field here that's I had to go around. It's all little trees. Could I take the disc vine through there? Probably, but it costs too much to wreck it. That's a job for a bush hog when they get that big. I don't mind running over the little stuff, the odd one, you know, maybe up to 3/4 inch or something. But some of them are substantial, and you're going to do damage. It's not meant for it. Here too, it's a great big bush. It's probably 10 feet tall. This bush, the tree line's over there. So just years of neglect, I guess. Keep pushing it in, and it encroaches, and that's just going to keep going every year until you get back down to the middle and the whole thing's full of trees. I don't want that, and we're going to try to keep that pushed back. So I'm going to have to rent a bush hog or build one or buy one, something eventually to push these edges back and reclaim this land. I'll show you the southern end of the field here. There's quite a beautiful crop in here. That's nice and thick. Not exactly sure what that is. It definitely looks like a legume. And that's about all that's in there other than some little shrubs. But lots of feed volume anyway. We'll get a few bales off. Really curious to see. We'll probably start baling this evening yet. Otherwise tomorrow morning. Keep in mind again, we're making wet feed. We don't want it to dry down too much. But here it starts to taper off. We're hugging the river here. The river's on the other side of those bushes. And as we get farther to the north, for whatever reason, there's less nutrition there, and the crop gets a lot thinner here. Good morning. It is a beautiful sunny morning. There's still a wee bit of dew on the ground, but it's pretty much burnt off here, so we're going to get started baling. I had started last night already. I didn't make it very far around the field, maybe, I don't know, 500 feet, and I hit a rock. And it was a very dumb moment because I watched the rock coming, and I said to myself I should probably lift the header up, and then I didn't. And I watched the guards on my header crumble. Anyway, so I spent the rest of the night repairing it. So I got her done around, I don't know, 10:30 last night or something. I just bent everything back into the right shape. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a minute. Down at the bottom, just a minute, Eli. Just a minute. All right. Down at the bottom here, these here, this is what's called a header. It runs all the way across from one side to the other. There is teeth in there that go around and around and around. I'm not really going the right direction, but you get the point. It picks it up from the grass and shoves it up into the baler, okay? And then it can make the bale inside of these rubbers. Oh, the other way. Everything's backwards on the phone, guys. It's really hard to point. Inside there makes the bale. So you can see right here, there's a yellow one. I've already replaced it in the past. New Holland and Case balers are identical, except they're from paint. New Holland makes their headers yellow, Case is black. So the dealership I bought it from, actually it was a New Holland dealership, that's why these ones are yellow. But I crunched up 5 of them here by hitting a rock. They just kind of folded down underneath and jammed the header so it could not work. Busted the chain off on this side. So I don't have my, I always keep spare chain link parts around. Of course that's all in storage, I didn't have it here. So we lucked out that the chain that was on there had a couple of links on it. And I had a length of chain in my job trailer. So we managed to cobble that together. That should work well. And then straightening those pieces was quite a tour, just because of the way they're built. But I got them reasonably straight that they will work again. I'm going to order some new stuff. It was a project I had planned for last winter, is to rebuild this whole header. I think for myself it's preventative maintenance is the way I look at it. I don't want to have a breakdown in the field, especially not when I'm in a customer's field trying to make some money. And breakdowns are just no good. So if you can see stuff that looks like it might wear out or might break and fix it ahead of time, it saves you a load of grief later. And this header, I know it's time for rebuilding. There's some bearings and stuff in there that need to be redone. There's what I call fingers that pick the hay up that need to be redone. And a lot of these guards are getting worn out thin. They need to be redone. And then just a general look over of the whole thing. So that'll be a winter project. Maybe, I don't know, if I have somewhere decent to work anyway. See if we get the shop done or not. I got the little man with me. We have not had breakfast yet, did we? Did you have breakfast? No. Hey? So hopefully we'll get some. We're gonna start baling and breakfast will come. Are you singing? What are you singing? Sound like you were singing a song. No? We had a couple of delays with the baler. The chain that came off yesterday came off again today. Anyway, we got her all fixed. Everything's all baled up. I don't think anybody else took video, but maybe they did. She's all baled up. Got, I'm not even sure. I'd have to count. Somewhere between 20 and 30 bales off of here. So that'll be good. We also renovated the lane coming into this field. It's a lot easier to drive. I'll show you that on the way back out. And we built a bit of a dam. That was yesterday, I think. Maybe I showed you that already. I can't remember. So, yeah, pretty cool. Gotta pick the rest of these bales up yet, wrap them. And then I think that's it for us for this year as far as getting our feed ready. Oh, Anissa was actually doing most of the picking up today while I was doing the baling. So that's pretty cool. I have actually never seen her drive a tractor. Got her, showed her this morning how to do it, how to run it, and I think she had a blast. We'll have to ask her. There you can see a little bit of water here. We stacked this up. There's a beaver dam up and around the corner. I want to blow the beaver dam, and I'm hoping that they'll then continue to work on this, but I don't know, there's no guarantees. Beaver dam is flooding out our land here. There's lots of room here for the water level to come up before it hits the land, so I'd rather that they played around over here. And here's two boys playing around in the mud. Wes is busy sculpting some stuff out of the clay that we dug up yesterday. I think he built a bit of a bowl there he was showing me a minute ago. And you can see it right there. And now he's working on, what are you working on now? A plate. There you go. Are ya? Oh, yeah, it's too dried out. Okay. Anyway, on this side here, we smoothed that top out, put a bunch of rock in the bottom. It's a much better lane there now. And a lot easier to get through. Well, bringing these all home one at a time, because I still haven't got around to building my bale wagon. There's too many things on the agenda. So very time consuming driving back and forth one bale at a time, but it is what it is. Next year hopefully we'll have our wagon ready. Denise has been stacking these all by where the bale wrapper is, so I will wrap them all later, and then that'll be done.